Hello and welcome to Wings of Women Season 2. So, this season, we are bringing a powerful conversations with the industry experts from Saskatoon, sharing the real insights to help you grow with clarity and more confidence. And today's episode is extra special. You know why? Because Wings of Women is featuring a male guest for the very first time on our show, Raji from the SK Startup. And he has been a strong support for the newcomers and the immigrants, entrepreneurs, helping them and find um, the right direction and the opportunities. So please join me in welcoming Raji to Wings of Women.
Okay, so Raji, can you just briefly introducing yourself to us?
Yeah, for sure. Firstly, thank you for having me in this wonderful space to help to share. So a little bit about me. I grew up, in Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean. Kind of moved here about 3 years ago, and I've been working in the not-for-profit space. So I started off at Open Door Society, helping with resumes, cover letters, finding jobs, and now here at SK Startup, I help newcomers, basically anyone across the province at all levels of business, across all industries. We help them start business, whether it be from troubleshooting to getting you started from idea generation, moving straight through to launch. In that space, that's where I actually play the best. That's where I actually met you guys, and I get to hear the wonderful things that you all are doing. So a little bit about me. Yes, I'm a certified coach, but I'm also very, very strong in the newcomers segment because it's a lived experience for me. So I do my very best to help support newcomers in any way that I can.
Yeah. So let me ask you the first question.
hmm
So for someone who want to starting their first business in Saskatchewan, so how does SK Startup Institute to support them from idea to launch?
Yeah, that's a good question. So how we start this, we've been doing a little bit of an overhaul in recent times. So we have a new tiered service where we actually move you through four serious steps where we strengthen your business and your idea from plan to plan. So the first thing we'll do is we'll do an initial consultation, kind of understand where you are, what the idea sounds like. Is this something that you really want to get into? Once we've done that, we'll then move into what we call a little bit of business planning. So we'll do a little bit of market research, kind of help you understand, is there a demand for the market? What resources are available? How do you actually move forward in creating this idea into something that is structured and something that you could determine? The second step after that is we're going to helping you register the business.
Yeah.
So once we've done the market research, we've done the business plan, it seems viable, it's a go. We then move into the what we call the compliance aspect of things, which is getting your business registered, getting your business license, getting your taxes set up, and more so looking around all the other forms of certifications that are needed to be in full compliance. And from there, we help you with what we call a go-to-market strategy, which is how are you going to launch? It's going to build off your business plan. So in that business plan, you would have identified what are your products and services, what are your pricing points, what is your marketing plan, and how do you actually reach your clients. And we help you make that theoretical shift from what's on paper to what's actually going to hit the physical market. And once we do that, we then have regular check-ins with you to find out what's going well and what isn't going well, and what's some opportunity for us to kind of reevaluate certain things. Because the intention here is to not just have you launch a business, but it's to help you get a successful business.
Yeah.
That's our aim, is to help people launch successful businesses, not just launch a business.
Yeah, you give me a lot information and more than my question because my question is just from the start to the launch. But you mentioned a lot is Cascade Institute actually provide a lot of the follow up. How to marketing, how to do the strategy. I think this
Mhm.
is the most important and more advanced because, first of all, as a new entrepreneur, they need to know, some of them like us, we are the newcomers, maybe very
Mhm.
well known the knowledge about our own country. So how about moving in here? What license when we want to do this business in here? Maybe there is some extra license, insurance, anything. They will get the information from SK Startup. And also the best thing is when they go, they settle, they start. So how to do more further. So this is amazing. A lot of the good information I think the people they can get from the SK Startup.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just a small excerpt of the length of which we actually provide services. For example, we do a little bit of pathfinding as well. So for example, if someone is in need of finance, we kind of help them build out that business plan and point them in the direction of where they could possibly get some get some finance or some funding and stuff like that.
Oh, then I think I need to ask for my own the business. Maybe I need, yeah,
Yeah.
because before we are always consulting from you. It's just maybe just a very basic how to start up everything. But
Mhm.
we really don't know that you SK Startup we will do so many follow up things. So I think this show when we launch this show to the public, the our local people they really will get help from the SK Startup, right, Shani?
Yeah, definitely. Because I personally also have a experience with SK Startup because when I started my business back in 2024, I was also connected with the SK Startup, and they actually really helped me to find out the sources which I really required at that time and a proper guidance about the licensing for the business, especially the like a city license, which is also, for example, like I have my license for federally, like the Canada license, but I haven't have any idea that I have to get the city license as well, which
Mhm.
is the city of Saskatoon license. And I get to know this from this SK startup. And that's how I understand that why it is important and how much it is important. So like definitely I have a really good experience with SK startup. And the best thing is that you guys are following up with us as well periodically, which is amazing. So thank you for that. And I just would like to ask one more question here that usually definitely your resources are like, you have like a different kind of resources. So how
Mhm.
you gonna figure it out that which business can help and like, how you support for the resources?
So that's why we start with the initial consultation. So through every phase, we're going to have deliverables that we want to have. So for example, not just on the regulatory side, but also from on the business practical side, right? Like for example, you run a really good organization. People see this part of it, but they don't know all the things that you guys have to do in the background. So those are the things that the key aspect that we have that we put you through. So for example, what we're saying is that when we're finished the first step, this is what you should accomplish, and these are some of the resources that we've provided there. Through the consultation, and like you said, the regular checkup, we're going to find out if there are other gaps that we're missing. And then we're going to basically either do one of two things. We're going to look into the ecosystem, see if there are other partners like the WBH that you all are, very well connected to, see if they could provide a service for you, or we'll actually have to create that resource ourselves. So, and I'm just to kind of like, and correct me if I'm wrong if I didn't answer the question. When it comes to resources, we need to ensure that the resources would make sense and would add value. Because we're not just going to give you something just because it's part of our plan, because it may or may not be relevant to what it is you're trying to build. So that's why we have to have the constant conversation, whether it be via meeting, via emails, phone calls, because we want to create a unique, targeted, and custom approach to each businesses. It's not a rubber stamp approach. Even though I may have said that's the steps, it's highly individualized as we move you through each part of the steps. So I'm not sure if that kind of answered the question. And feel free to ask me a follow up. I could share a little more specific.
Yeah, so basically, what I understand is basically once you have in consultation with any of the entrepreneurs or the newcomer, so you
Mhm.
basically do the research according to their business requirements or the need, and then you provide the resources so they will get only the relevant which they
Mhm.
actually require, not just like, because of course in the business we have like multiple options to go with.
Yes,
So,
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
So that's a very, very good way of putting it. It's like
yeah,
we will have discussions and do the research and understand where you are, because as you would know as well, entrepreneurs come in at different levels. Whether they've started a business before or not, they are at different levels. And so we want to give an assessment, a proper assessment, because I wouldn't want you to have to do a business plan, Chandni, if you already have one.
exactly.
Right?
Yes.
I'm wasting your time there.
Yeah,
So that's kind of like, yes, that's a very good example and a good way of stating it as to how we apply resources.
exactly. Yeah.
So you mentioned about you after the consultation, you will find out what is the gap of the of your client, what they experience right now. So this is what my question want to ask you. So from your experience working with so many different entrepreneurs, what are
Mhm.
the most common gaps or the challenge you can see? And how does the SK Startup Institute to help them to or address them to go to the right path?
Yeah. So firstly, most people come to us because they've identified a potential business opportunity. And the thing that they want to know is what we call startup steps. So what do I do? Step one, step two, they need it like that. Um, what happens is when they start, trying to find out the information on their own, it's a sea of information out there. And each page has links, and those links go take you to another page. And so the first thing I would say, the first gap is uh, the understanding of what's the step-by-step process and what it takes to have a fully compliant business. The second gap that I see is the lack of market research and also the lack of business planning. Every idea that we have always sounds magnificent in our head because it's coming from us. But until you've done the research, primary and secondary market research to determine whether this is a viable business or not, we wouldn't want you going out there buying equipment, signing leases, stuff like that. So those are the main two characteristics or gaps that we see. And the third, which is really no fault of theirs, is lack of support and understanding of, who is my partner in this space. So for example, um, what other organizations are out there that run entrepreneurship type businesses and organizations that I could, kind of join or be a partner with or visit some of their events and get some networking done, get some like-minded people to have conversations with. So those are the three main gaps I would say newcomers and even new business owners tend to struggle with, which is one, understanding the compliance process to be a fully and equipped, business organization that's registered. Secondly, business planning and proper market research, which gives you the decision of yes or no to move forward with this business. Third is finding community. And I'll say one other thing that I've seen as well is obviously startup capital funding. Most people are looking for grants. They're looking for, low interest loans because it takes money to start a business. Every business has to have some sort of capital invested in it. So those are the four main areas I see new entrepreneurs or even existing ones tend to struggle with when they're trying to create a business here in Saskatchewan.
So you mentioned those four. This is
Mhm.
a very interesting question I want to ask you is, so in this four, which one is you most interesting and make you more uh, excited to help to solve? Because I know some people like to do the research, gather
Mhm.
the data. Someone like to do the strategy. Someone like to analysis. So what is your strength?
Yeah, so I really like all of it. I really like all of it because we get to spend time with our entrepreneurs through it all, and we get to see the various stages of growth. But if I had to choose, I would say the business planning side of things, just because the business plan itself, so much is being emerged when you're going through that process that a lot of entrepreneurs say, I didn't think about that. Now I have to think about this. But why I like that business planning stage is that it's the blueprint for starting businesses. Like, as long as you could get that blueprint, understood fully, it's the mechanism that you could go about building multiple businesses, because in a sense it's going to be somewhat of the same structure every time. And this is what serial entrepreneurs use. So what we find happening is that when businesses launch their first product, they almost never have any nerves about launching the second one, because they've been through the I don't know, I'm not sure, maybe not phase. And it's all, well, let's try this. Now it's let's try this and see what happens. Or I've done the research and it indicates that this is going to be something viable. I'm willing to give it a go. So you get to see that constant metamorphosis and that growing confidence, and that business owner grows. So I'd have to say that business planning and market research, because it's where most of the growth happens in my estimation, I would say.
Yeah. Q.
Yes, you're right. I agree with you that about the market research, because I also get a help from SK Startup to complete my market research, because that's one of the task for me to complete my business planning. So definitely, every entrepreneur should know their market research, that to know their competitors. So it will definitely help them to grow their business, right, in the area where they really want to provide their services. So now I just would like to ask you the last question here,
Hmm.
that why SK Startup? I mean, like, what SK Startup do differently than the other business supporting organizations?
Yeah, that's a question that we also ask ourselves constantly to
Exactly.
help kind of elevate, the way we deliver our business. I would have to say, starting from the very, very foundation of it, is that we are a not-for-profit. So you have unlimited meetings with us for free. All of our services are free, other than the Ask an Expert program,
Mhm.
where you pay an ultra low fee of $26.25 to speak with an expert, whether it's a lawyer, an accountant, business planner, stuff like that. But what we do different is that, one, we serve everyone, across the province, at all stages of industries, at all levels of business. And we like to pride ourselves on being the first step in your business journey. So what we do different is that, again, we deal with an end-to-end sort of regime, where we deal with our entrepreneurs. We are not an incubator, which is what makes us different. We don't move you through this. You have 3 months and then you're out the other side, and that's it, whether you're available or not. We are here to meet you where you are. We are here to provide you with the resources that are needed for you to champion each step. And then we move at your pace, right? So we're always there for you. That's
Yeah.
what we do differently. We are here to cater for the client. We're here to cater to the client, and we're here to provide support, not 24/7, but in a sense, but we're always there and accessible via various points. What we actually do different is that, another thing that we do different is we offer free market research and templates that help businesses kick off. So whereas other people would say, AI isn't a good intervention, we actually let clients know AI is a very good tool to use, and the reports that we provide and the templates that we provide could help you with a lot of the heavy lifting. So we help to take all the burdens of starting a business. And SK Startup, in my estimation, based on, not because I'm working there, it's that I'm biased. It's because we serve a demographic that it belongs to everyone. SK Startup belongs to Saskatchewan, and Saskatchewan entrepreneurs belong to SK Startup. So I would have to say, just to kind of summarize that, is that what we do different is that we cater to the person in front of us. We treat them, with the level of support and comfort that they would need to start a business, which is a very, very difficult thing. And I'm sure both of you know that.
Yeah.
And on the back end of that, we help you with as much resources as we can. And if we don't have the resources, we're not competing with anyone else. We will go to other partners in the ecosystem, and we will find the answers for you, and we will basically do some path finding and let you know, all right, maybe you could go to WESC. as female entrepreneurs, you guys could go to West. They could definitely help you with some business planning and also some funding as well. Or maybe, you could go to Futurepreneur and get some planning there and some funding there as well. Or you could even go to, if you want to develop an app, you could go to Collabs. You could go to these various and other empowerment organizations that are niche down. So SK Startup is really, we're unique. Our experience is unique. Our support is unique, and we're still plugged into the same ecosystem. So we are operating here for your benefit, and we hope in turn only to see you have a successful business. And that's what I would say in a nutshell makes us different. Not that the other organizations aren't doing that, but that's what I think makes us unique. That's just my perspective.
Yeah. And I think, all the important and valuable things contained in this question, because first of all, that it's a free of cost and it's a non-profit company. So basically,
Mhm.
because whenever someone is just start up the business, they are like really tight with the budgets for the thing. And what you guys provided, that's like more than a value, to be very honest, right? But still you are giving that services in a free of cost, which will definitely help the newcomers and the uh, startup entrepreneurs, that still they are getting a valuable insights, but in the free of cost. So I think that definitely makes you different. And definitely whatever the insights you gave, that's also very different from the other organization. So we really recommend personally the SK startup who really don't know or stuck somewhere in your business planning or to start up or the process your business planning. You definitely should contact the SK startup, and they are really helpful. And as they said, it's not a 24/7, but they are accessible and they are available on the calls, on the emails, whenever you need it. So yes, definitely SK startup is the best for the Saskatoon.
Yeah. So I think the most important how to make an organization to get more bigger and to get more further is because the one who work inside, the people who always, as Raji, you mentioned, you always in your team, among your team, you must be always asking yourself is how I can make the SK startup to be different from the other. So I think this is also every entrepreneur, they will get the impact or get the benefits from the SK startup because those people like you working inside is so passionate. So today, thank you, Raji, to spend the time with us, and then you already in a short period of time give us a lot of the good answer, and I think that in the future, the people saw this video again, they will come and see SK Startup. And I wish everyone who watch this video, you also can get the benefit, not just from the SK Startup, also from us, Wings of Women. And if you have any good story or you are the expertise in your area, you want to share your knowledge to the people, we are very welcome you to contact us, wingsofwomen.ca, and we will set up a platform for you and help a lot of people. Yeah, thank you again, Raji, today.
Yeah, and
Thank you,
thank you all for
Ravi.
having me.
Okay, so see you. Bye
Take care.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.